Hello, welcome to Oral French. Welcome to this summary lesson. In summary, we have 5 major tenses which are going to help you to speak the French language. We have the imparfait, the passé composé, présent de l'indicatif, futur simple, and futur proche. Each of these tenses have their unique uses. I begin with imparfait. With the imparfait, we have learned that we have three major sounds. E, ion, ie. E, ion, ie. Those are the 3 major sounds you are going to hear when you are using the imparfait. What does that mean? For example, I would say, je préparais. Je préparais. Or, I would say, j'allais. J'allais, for example. I could also say, je parlais. Je parlais avec Sanka. Je parlais avec Ashutosh. That air sound, you must get it for. Je parlais. Tu parlais. Il parlait. Elle parlait. On parlait. Then il in the plural, parlait. Elle in the plural, parlait. Okay? Second sound, we have e, ion, ie. Nous parlions. Nous parlions avec notre professeur. Nous. Nous is the person doing the action. That is why we have parlions. Nous parlions. Vous parliez. E, ion, ie. That is the uniqueness of the imparfait. And what is the major use of the imparfait? Whenever you think of saying I was, he was, she was in the past, that is when you apply the imparfait. For example, je parlais avec Ashutosh quand Madame Apita m'a appelé. Je parlais. I was speaking. I was talking. Je parlais avec Ashutosh. I was speaking with Ashutosh. Quand Madame Apita m'a appelé. When Madame Apita called me. Ça va? Très bien. The uniqueness of the passé composé, which is the second tense, is we must use the auxiliary verbs avoir or être. Either avoir or être. So with the auxiliary verbs, they are always very clear. Use avoir or être. For example, if I would say, I spoke with Ashutosh, I spoke, I would simply say, I have spoken. So I must use number 1, the auxiliary verb avoir, already conjugated in the present tense. I would say, j'ai. First, j'ai. Then before I put the past participle, which is parler. J'ai parlé. Okay? J'ai parlé, I spoke. Or, I have spoken. If you see, j'ai means I have. I have. Then, parler, spoken. I have spoken. J'ai parlé avec Pablo. J'ai parlé avec Ashutosh. I spoke with. Okay? But with moving verbs, as we have seen, and maybe the pronominal verbs, we notice that we must use être. For example, moving verbs, I want to move. Je suis allé. Because I was moving, I was going, je suis allé. Okay? And with the present tense, the uniqueness of the present tense is that it is the aspect of saying you are doing something right now, or you always do that thing. For example, presently I am recording a video. Okay? Donc, I'm going to say je fais. Je fais une vidéo. Maintenant, je fais une vidéo. And the present tense always has that possibility of what I call the short box and the long box. Meaning, you only have 2 possibilities. If you are using the pronoun je, tu, il, elle, on, il and elle in the plural, you only have a short pronunciation. For example, je parle maintenant. Parle is short. Je parle. Tu parles. Il parle. Just by saying je parle, it already has two meanings. I am speaking or I speak. Clear? If you have questions, please post them below. So, je parle, I speak. Je parle, I am speaking. Je fais une vidéo, I am doing. Je fais une vidéo, I do. Okay? Always two meanings. Okay? And then the long box, we have nous and vous. Nous parlons. Vous parlez. Nous parlons, we are speaking. Vous parlez, you are speaking. Okay? Nous parlons, vous parlez. Always two meanings. Okay? Then, future proche. Future proche also has a uniqueness because the future proche always has the ability of also using the verb aller already conjugated. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, on va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. You already conjugate it first before you add another verb. For example, je vais parler avec Ashutosh ce soir. Je vais parler avec Ashutosh ce soir. I'm going. Je vais. Tu vas parler avec Ashutosh ce soir. You are going. Then parler, to speak. So each time you use the verb, the future proche, you always have that possibility of using the verb that follows je vais, tu vas, il va. The verb that follows always in the infinitive form. So you don't have to stress. You just need to know the verb. Je vais choisir. Je vais grandir. Je vais être président. Je vais être millionnaire. Je vais avoir beaucoup d'enfants. Je vais avoir beaucoup de choses. Each time, always just add the other verb in the infinitive form. Je vais danser. Je vais manger. Tu vas manger. Ils vont manger. Nous allons nager. Each time, just add. And the last verb in this summary, the last tense, in this summary is the future simple. The future simple is almost like the imperfect, but you always have that R sound, R, meaning you conjugate the verb itself. For example, when I spoke of the imperfect, I wanted to say I was speaking, I said je parlais. I did not add any other auxiliary verb. I just said je parlais. Okay. Now in the future simple, you must have that R sound, and we have the uniqueness is the pronunciation. We always have three sounds: re, ra, ron. Re, ra, ron. For example, je parlerai. The uniqueness also of the future simple is that you don't change the verb, you just add the a, on sounds. Okay? Je parlerai. Je parlerai. Tu parleras. The verb parler is already parler. So you just add re, et, on. Je choisirai. Je choisirai. Which in English means I will choose. Je parlerai, I will speak. Very simple. Okay? So that is the uniqueness. Je parlerai, tu parleras, il parlera, elle parlera, on parlera, nous parlerons, vous parlerez, ils parleront, elles parleront. Plural. Il and elle, the plural. Parleront. Always like that. Re, ra, ron. Okay? So take note. This is the summary. If you have questions, please always post them. Okay? Don't hesitate to post your questions. Thank you very much. And I will always make sure I do summaries like this for all our lessons, okay? So that you grab the concept, then you can speak better. Thank you. Passez une bonne journée et à la prochaine.